everyone. Happy Monday to everybody. Thank you so much for being here, especially on this week. A lot of people taking off this week. Um, so thank you so much for being here. Yeah, this being the Thanksgiving week, I don't know that we should. There we go. Got everything set up now. I don't know that we should expect a whole lot out of this market. Um, I really don't think we should. So yeah, so I wouldn't get too excited if the market doesn't go up or if it doesn't go down if you're looking for it to go down. But right now, let's do this here. Uh, there we go. We've got the 100 period moving average here, and we've got the 50 period moving average right there. So wouldn't be too surprised if we just kind of stayed in this area this week here. Like I say, it wouldn't surprise me. Uh, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Hey, Neil, someone just logged in on YouTube, just FYI. Um, so, um, yeah, so I would say that this week, just, because I mean, like, take Wednesday, for instance. No one's going to want to be here Wednesday. Thursday's off, and Friday, everybody's pissed off that they have to come back to work one day. That doesn't make sense. So, anyway, not much this weekend. Okay, bottom line though, we need to be over this 675 area here on the SPY. Until we get over that, this market is going to be kind of cobbled a little bit, and that's going to be important. The sellers still have a little bit of the sellers still have more control than the buyers right now. I'm saying that because simply the way I follow the trend. Price is below the price is below the 8 EMA, and the 8 EMA is below our trend indicator. We're also below the 50 period moving average, which sets us up for that blue ice failure, which means what could happen is this right here. We could certainly roll to the upside, but watch this area right there. It's also the 50% um, retracement from uh, the recent high over here to the recent low, and that could cause us to roll down. Now we could pop up a little bit. We could move into this area right here and right here. That's what I'm concerned with, and we could roll down. So be careful. Be careful chasing. Yeah, be careful chasing. We did end up Friday with a bullish Hiromi off the 100 period moving average. That's a two thumbs up. And as of this morning, so far, it looks like we're getting a little bit of follow through, and that is a two thumbs up. So maybe it's starting to move. Another thing with what we need to see in the chart is we need to see the opposite of what it's been doing. So what it's been doing is highs, lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. If that continues, well, this is what it would look like, and that needs to change. What we need to see is just the opposite. We need to see a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and so on. So we've got our low. We need to see a high in here. Now, to go straight up, I don't know. Not this week. Unless there's just some crazy, crazy news that would push us up. I would suspect something more like this maybe. Now we could make that high again. Not I just don't think this week, but if we do, then we've got something going. So um, anyway, that's what I see in the market. Here, let's take a look at some of these big players and some of these things like IYT, the transports, for instance. I've got them all bunched on one list. So IYT, there's not a doggone thing bullish about this except for the bullish Hiromi on Friday. While I'm here, let me talk about something really quick. Um, Sometimes I know that we get we kind of chase ourselves sometimes. And we're looking to get into something early. I mean, buy low, sell high. That is something that traders like to do. Although traders will go spend money on some of the dumbass things you've ever seen, but yet when it comes to trading, you squeak like nobody's business. So what happens is you end up picking bottoms and you don't let the chart actually work. And I think sometimes what happens is we get um, we get away from trading candlesticks. Okay, and this actually started because I was asked by somebody if I could do a quick video, like 15-20 minute video for a group of young people explaining some candlesticks. So I'm going to be working on that this next week. And um, um, and it just made me think. We do a lot of bottom picking, and I know that. I try to stay away from it. I try to wait for that candlestick and then the follow through. So, for instance, we have a bullish Hiromi here. This, this is not a trade until it breaks out of that bullish Hiromi. If we go back to the SPY, it's not, oh, let's pick this bottom. It's above that bullish Hiromi right there. And I think we get away from that a lot. And that's okay if that's working for you. I mean, it really, really is. But I do think sometimes we need to bring ourselves back to price action, and that's what candlesticks is right there. So here's one of the big boys or girls, whichever you want to look at it. Look at Google is up this morning. So if you're following Google, then rock and roll. Um, IBIT. Okay, I put some charts out on Facebook X. Yeah. And then I did a video this weekend. So thank you very much for those that followed it. I've also mentioned in the room that I'm starting to follow or watch some of this. I did some Bitcoin stuff, and we may be trying to put a bottom in here. We could be. So I'm watching it real close. I'd like to buy some. I'm not ready to buy it just yet. I want to wait for the setup. And here's some things we want to wait for. Um, we have a low, we have a high. We could make another high, but what I want to see is that low to a higher low or double bottom, and then wherever the high is, I want to see us break out of that, and that becomes the new tradable bottom. This is not the tradable bottom unless you're a bottom picker, which is fine. If that works for you, then you should keep doing it. If that doesn't work for you, well, stop doing it and wait for that tradable bottom to appear. And it's a low, high, higher low, or a big rounded bottom. But bottom line, I'm starting to watch some Bitcoin here. Here's ETHA. That may be trying to bottom. Tesla is coming up. Tesla is still a bearish trade for me because price is underneath the 8 EMA and the 8 EMA is underneath the trend indicator. When that changes, then it will become a bullish trade. Um, so, yeah, well, let's stop right here. So we've got this big down day here, and we've got a belt hold right in through here. Now, I happen to think a belt hold is one of the most strongest um, candlestick signals there is. And right through here. Now you can see that we're chopping around. We never did get any big moves up. Got a lot of resistance up here. So I am watching Tesla, which I'm gonna buy is what I'm gonna buy. But it all plays off Tesla here. So what I'm looking for is for this to change. So we've got this belt hold, but it's not tradable till we move up over this area here. And while we did it over here, that's not where we closed. We did get it here, and we are just still kind of walking sideways a little bit. But let's wait for that signal to set up, wait for the price action to tell us what to do. So Tesla, on my list. Here's Amazon, big player here. Here's another bullish piercing candle, and we're seeing some follow through. So I could see this as a buy here. Um, One thing that I want to do is I don't like to buy. I do it, but I particularly don't. I would rather the market be in a nice bullish trend, and we don't have to worry about these things, or I don't have to. But we're still in a downtrend as far as I'm concerned. And while this may be a reversal down here setting up, we don't have the trend yet. If we come over here and see where price is above the 8 EMA and the 8 EMA is above the green dots or the trend indicator, that's what I'm looking for. So I can't hardly buy Amazon on the daily. However, let's break this down into an intraday chart. Here's a 3-bar chart. Can't do it there. There's an hourly chart. There it is, right there. See how price is over the 8 EMA, the 8 is over the trend indicator. I could start a position based on the hourly chart on Amazon. So that has some possibilities. And then manage the trade, how I would normally manage a trade, take profits off, if we, on the hourly chart, if we see the sellers coming in, or if we reach our goals. Once once it breaks out and reaches the daily, then I can look at the daily, which I prefer to look at. Mags, take a look at mags. Underwater, price 8, trend indicator, downtrend. I've got a few grandkids, and I could probably teach my all of them, and there's a couple of them kind of young. I could probably teach them that that's a downtrend, right? I could teach them that. I could teach them that that's an uptrend. So when do we now? So what do we have? We have all right. We want to pick the very bottom. You have those traders, and you have traders that want to wait to the uptrend. So if we wait for the uptrend, what would it look like? Well, it'd look like that. So pick your poison. Maybe play both, but have a good handle on what you do. That's important. And this week, because of the holiday, even I mean, we've got Christmas coming up too. This is a great time of the year to take a great big breath in your trading and really evaluate what you do. This is a great time of year, and maybe lift off the gas pedal just a little bit, and like I say, just evaluate what you do. Microsoft, is that a bottom? Could be. Do you see the signs? Maybe somebody does. I don't, but maybe somebody does. Meta. Meta's another one. In fact, did I? I thought I did. I did. Um, I bought some METU Friday. So a little bit of bottom picking here. I've been talking about Meta for most of last week, I think, where it may be ready to start that bottom here, getting pretty close. Let's look at the weekly chart. Here's the weekly chart. We're sitting on the 100 period moving average on the weekly. And we've got a little bit of price action right here, maybe that might be holding us up. I could actually see where Meta could slide a little bit lower. Could happen. So I'm watching it closely. But like I say, I bought some METU Friday right here. We'll see what happens with that. We look at that hourly chart. You can see how it's starting to work right there. We're starting to make that rounded bottom breakout on that hourly chart. Let's see, that was Meta. Take a look at SMH. Um, that sucks pond water. Just simple as that. We've got to bounce off the 100 period moving average, but there's our downtrend. We need to wait for the uptrend. Again, if you're determined to buy some on the low, at least have some logic. For me, I would have to go intraday, and are we starting to turn on that intraday? Using the same tools, whether you're looking at a monthly chart, weekly chart, daily, hourly, 5 minute, doesn't matter. It's the same tool. That way, your mind's not having to switch gears, I guess. Take a look at Apple. I'm still holding some Apple. That's looking pretty good. we've got a nice bullish engulf here, um, but a bullish engulf on Friday, just barely, but it is. We've got a bullish engulf on Friday, and see we're seeing follow through. We've got a big Newton chart pattern, and that's where we have a bullish day, not so bullish, and a bullish day. So that's heading up. Still looking for it to get up into this 280 area here. RSP not going so great. Now I do like the bullish Aromi here. It looks like we might be trying to get some follow through. Well, we need to clear this whole area right here. No, we need to get that downtrend. We need to get through that 50 period moving average right there. So there's quite a bit of uphill battle before we do that on RSP. XLE, I think, is doing pretty good here. Um, we've got a nice low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So XLE, there might be some energy stocks that start perking up. There's a few out there I've noticed looking pretty good. Good old Nvidia. You know? I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of love here in Nvidia. We may get a better buy on Nvidia. And Nvidia, it could easily sink down into 164. I've even heard some people talking about Nvidia getting down into the 90 area. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that, but um, I certainly see the possibility of Nvidia being lower. And this does control the market. So unfortunately, it does right now. This and the Feds, right? A whisper of a lower rate, the market explodes up, and oh no, we don't think we're going to cut rates, and the market wants to go down. Talking about a fickle market, geez, you know, want a sucker, take the sucker away. Want a sucker, take the sucker away. Crazy. How about a little copper here? Still in a downtrend, little bullish Romy. Um, so we might get some sort of follow through. But can you see how it just needs to change directions? Right now, it's just bullish. In fact, it's a bearish blue ice failure setting up. So that's what I've got for some of the big boys there. For those of us that, oh, you know, man, I almost forgot. Hey, don't forget, we have our Black Friday um, sale. Um, 2 months for the price of one. Sorry, this one's not for members, FYI. I had a member ask me about it. This is not for members, current members. 6 months free, that is for members. And of course, the lifetime membership, if you would like to choose to that lifetime. These last two are for members. If anyone has any questions, just let us know. Right Way Options and BYOB has a similar Black Friday sale. So just hit us up and we can talk about it. All right, let's go look at some charts here. For those of you that are holding CNC, you're probably dancing on your carpet, your wood floor, squirming in your chair, getting all excited. That's sweet, isn't it? Holding up real nice, nice big pop up, rounded bottom breakout, um, breaking over the dotted deuce here. Yeah, the dotted deuce. Wow, early morning for me. Dotted deuce here. Next target is up here near that 44.46 level. So looking good here. I don't intend to close it out just yet. I think I'm gonna let this work out, play out. We'll see what happens on that. Take a look at BMY. BMY is having a big move today. So I can almost hear it now. I can almost hear it now. Darn it, I missed it. No, you didn't miss it. This is so important. You did not miss it. That's the sign that we're looking for. So when we see things like this, then we put them on the watch list and or put alerts in there. Um, with, so if you put an alert, you'll put alert, I would probably put an alert somewhere around 47, 45 here. And and that would tell me if it starts to pull back, and that's what I would want. Maybe even put alert right here near the top, and then it would alert me when it's doing up or down from that top area. If you come back and you look at BMY right here, now that's great for those that did some bottom. That those people are far and few between. And to think that's going to work for you on a regular basis, well, you're just on crack, and it's just that simple. So what we do is we wait for that signal, that price action. There it is. Now we trade based on this candle. All this right here, pop out of the box. All this could have been bought. So, so this is the thrust. This is the rest, and then that's the money. Thrust, rest, money. So what do we have here? Thrust. We need rest, and then money. All right. Thrust, rest, money. Um, here's one. I think one of our members has been talking about this one a couple of times um, in the trading room, and excuse me, dry throat. So we've got this gap up. We're moving sideways on KVUE. It's a rounded bottom breakout. Rounded bottom breakout. Price. Price, the 8 EMA trend indicator over the 50 period moving average. We're looking for a target, big target. You know, that's a long way to go up to the 200, but that's the way the rounded bottom breakout is set up. So we'll take profits off as we move up. But this one's setting up, and I think should be on the watch list for us anyway. Looks really, really good. Let's see. All right. You're still holding it, Daryl? Yeah, you were the person I was talking about. Yeah. Nice, nice. It's looking good here. I really like it. All right. Let's take a look here. Where am I here? Let me see where I am. There we go. Hey, Sonny, you're looking at some WGS long. Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice chart. I'm going to flag that. I'm not only going to flag that, I'm going to write that one down. WGS. That's pretty. I haven't seen that one today. Doggone it. I've been here looking all morning long and last night. That's a pretty chart. Look at that. So again, you know, for those that say, "Oh man, I missed this." No, you didn't miss it. This is what we want. This shows bulls are there. This shows that buyers are there. Momentum is there. This is working. So that's a nice chart. So I'm going to put a line right here, top, because that top, and this top all match. That seems like a pretty important area to me. You know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but seems like right there's a bit of a roadblock, bit of a speed bump, and it looks like we're over that speed bump or over that roadblock. So now it just might be ready to trade. So we'll watch for consolidation, watch for follow through. Nice chart. Thanks, Sonny. Hello, S. Good morning. You're watching some IAU. Yeah. Fix this. Yeah, it could be starting to set up here where we've got that low, the high, and we've got a series of higher lows here. Um, for me, I think I would like to see this at least above 77 and a quarter. But it would make sense if somebody was buying this. But my stop would be right here at 76.21. So we're in this kind of a bracket right now. Bullishness that would take us right to that 50% um, relief rally retracement up there, and then maybe up to that 61.8 fib line here at 79. So thank you very much for posting that one. Hey, Gold, how are you? RSG's popping up. For this one here, yeah, let's put a flag here. I'm going to write that down. RSG. That's my service right there. RSG, we've had this big move, so I'm not interested in buying it right now. No, no, no. I need this thing to rest. So here's your thrust. Now we need rest, and then we'll look for money in there. So very nice chart, very worthwhile watching. But I do think that a rest is sort of in the works here, just because it's been up so much. So nice chart. Appreciate that. Hey, Julie, good morning. TE might be trying to set up. We've got a doji here. So yeah, that could be. I'm looking on another chart over here. It could be. Yeah, that could be setting up. We've got this this belt hold that totally gave way. Um, so I'm going to put a line right here, and that would be above the belt hold. Let me talk about a belt hold for a second. Again, the belt hold, I think, is one of the most strongest candle signals there is. But one thing that over the years of trading and looking at belt holds, this happens an awful lot, where you get a belt hold and it just kind of shrivels up. But the belt hold is still there. It hasn't gone away. Excuse me. It hasn't gone away. So while we might get a buy signal here, and if we were to get a buy signal, I could see that happening. Now today we're not going to get any kind of bullish engulf today, but we could get something that looks like that. Which now that I drew that let me do that again. If something like that happens, now we've got ourselves a morning star signal. I could see buying that, and maybe starting a position here, and then when we break out, adding to that position right in there. So there is a possibility of a morning star signal, yeah, and then that I could see buying that there, and then watch for that breakout, maybe add to it, or even wait till it breaks up there. But well worth a watch. Thank you. Hey Sonny, PSNL. Look here, PSN. There you go. See, we've got bullish activity. Great for those that get it on the bottom, but for every time you pick a bottom, um, 12 of them fail. And I know this, and you know this. So um, anyway, if it works for you, keep doing it. If it doesn't, stop doing it. Real simple. So here you go. Here we're moving up. The only negative I have about this, we're running up against this top on this week. I would be a little cautious. We're also pretty far from the T line and trend indicator, so I would want a little bit of rest in there. But it's well worth the watch. Well worth it. GCT. Let's take a look at that. GCT, nice breakout. That's a buy right here. Here we've broken out. That might be a buy right now this morning. We've got a bull kicker right in here. Bull kicker rallied up, came back to test. There's your bullish engulf, and here we are moving up. That right now is a buy. Yeah, that right now is a buy as we go get in as the market opens. GCT. All right. Hey, again, thank you, everybody. Again, members, thank you so much for being here. Everybody over here in social media, YouTube, Facebook, or X, thank you very much for being here. Let's see, trader, I cracked you up. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Let's see, you're looking at UNTY. UNTY. Looking pretty good. Yeah, looking pretty good. So we've got a breakout here. Nice. We've got a breakout. We're coming up, testing the 50. One thing I want to go to right here, and this is my cloud chart. So we have a nice candle, a nice grouping. We've got a nice low high, higher low. We're working for a higher high. We're doing a good job of it. Um, we've got a bullish engulf right in here. I just want to point to this flat trading right here on the cloud. Cause a little bit of consolidation. We're in that area right now. Excuse me. So I have to ask myself, do I want to trade this for what 3-4%, maybe 3%? Do I want to do that? And the answer absolutely might be yes. I'm actually going to take this up a little bit, put it on these candlesticks here. Or would I like to look at this chart, put it on a watch list, maybe set an alert in here, and trade this above $50.40? And I think that's where I would like to be. I think I would like to trade this over 50.40. That way let's see here. That way we move above those nasty candles that are clearly there's some big fat bears hanging out there. So if we break through that, we kind of crush those bears. They've moved on, maybe. We're also, above that little spot in the cloud right there. So that might be a good way to look at that. Thank you. I'm going to flag that. Appreciate that chart. What else do we have? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let's see. Hey, Ash, you're looking at STLD. Thank you so much. There you go. There's a buy. There's a buy. So nice consolidation. We went from that bottom up. Let me draw this right here. Nice consolidation right here. So we start to break out. That would be a buy. Since we've been looking at the cloud, you can see we're above the cloud here. That would make a nice little trade. Very nice. Very nice chart there. Appreciate that. Let me come over here. I've got some. Let's take a look at ILMN. Thanks, Neil. Take a look at that one. That's a pretty chart. And I've got a tickle in my throat. Can't get rid of it. You put some whiskey in that coffee. Yeah, look at that. Here's a nice big gap to the upside. So, see, here's one of these things. Oh, darn it, I missed it. No, you didn't miss it. Put that on the watch list. Let it come back to you. Keep an eye on it. Look at that right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, very nice. So let's do this. Let's take this one. And let's hit this high, go down to the low. Okay. And this is what I would look for. Yep. This is what I would look for targets. Target 1, let's duplicate that. Target 2, and we'll duplicate that one more time. There we go. Target 3. So there's some good upside, $25 upside on ILMN. So, a swing, profit taking, swing, profit taking, swing. That's what I would kind of look for. Nice chart. Thank you. I already talked about BMY. That's looking pretty good there. Anyway, let's see. What time is it? Oh, I'm about that time anyhow. All right. Let's go look at our T21. Oh, check out this new color, guys. We'll try it. You can see I was bored this weekend. So T21.23 on the hourly still is saying bearish, 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 bearish. Nothing bullish here. We don't have that moving yet. And if we look at VXX on the hour, we need to look at we look at VXX on the hourly. It looks like it's kind of peeling down a little bit. So that's good for the bulls. But let's go look at that. Let's go look at VIX. Forgot to look at that this morning. That is clearly a bullish chart. Price, 8 EMA, trend indicator. Everything is working. 50-period moving average is even curling out. Right now, I see the possibility of moving up to that 50% retracement area of about 35. If that happens, the bulls just can't get going. They won't. We need this VIX, the fear factor. We need that thing to fall apart. Just because it has a double top, so what? I can find you double tops all over the place that blew out the bottom, blew out the top. It's a possible failure because it's double top. It's not a guaranteed failure. Just like double bottoms, it's a possible reversal area. It's not a guarantee of a reversal area. So right now, trend wins hands down every time with me. Price 8 EMA trend indicator trending up. So let's be a little bit cautious. Again, remember this week. I just don't know if I would expect too much out of this week. Dang it. But don't be afraid to pump the brakes. Don't be afraid to say to yourself, Rick, hey, cash is a position. Okay. Members, I'll see you all here in about 25 minutes. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everybody coming in on the social media side. We'll see you all here in a little bit. Okay. You guys all take care. Thank you.